This is Bayswater. Change here for airport and Midland line services.
This is the fully complete Metronet Bayswater Station. Bayswater Station is located 6.7 kilometers from Perth in Fare Zone 1, as the junction of the Midland Airport and Ellenbrook Lines. With the opening of the Fremantle to Guildford Railway on the 1st of March 1881, development around the railway line was significantly increased, with travel times to nearby towns greatly reduced. The first development in the Bayswater area occurred in 1885, with advertisements mentioning the railway as a selling point and describing the need for a train station in the area. In 1888, goods sidings were built at Bayswater, but a train station wasn't built until the duplication of the line in 1896, serving a population of 400 people centered on Bayswater's two main roads, King William Street and Coode Street. From its opening, Bayswater served as the junction to the Belmont Spur line, which closed in 1956. When the Midland line was converted to dual gauge, Bayswater Station was rebuilt from its original side platform station into an island platform to accommodate for the larger trains, and the Bayswater subway was rebuilt, increasing its clearance. This station lasted all the way from the late 1960s until 2023, with it closing on the 31st of March, the last train stopping at 12:28 a.m., an airport line train towards Perth. This station was a typical Heritage Line hut station of the Perth Metropolitan train network, with asphalt platforms, steep ramps and a pedestrian maze to access the small platform. From its opening, the goods yard was shut down, meaning the station only served Metropolitan Midland Line trains all the way from the 1960s until the airport line opened on the 9th of October 2022. With the announcement of the airport line project in 2014, local residents began lobbying to upgrade the Bayswater station, with the only planned works at the time being minor disability access improvements. In the lead up to the 2016 federal election, the Labour government promised $1 million to create a structure plan for sinking the station underground. However, Labour did not win this election, and so this money was not spent. But in the lead up to the 2017 state election, Labour promised $40 million to upgrade Bayswater Station as part of their Metronet program, in addition to the $7 million already being spent on the station as part of the Airport Link project. Labour did win this election and went ahead in planning the new station. The original plan was to rebuild the station underground. On the 8th of April 2018, the scope of the Bayswater Station rebuild was revealed to the public, with the budget increasing to $86 million. The station was now decided to be built as an elevated station instead of an underground one, for several reasons, including the fact that the airport line dive tunnel was not designed to then go into an underground section beyond that, the fact that Meltham Station would need to be closed and rebuilt to accommodate for the underground section, the avoidance of a long disruption and closure of the Midland line to construct this, and to prevent having regional diesel trains needing extensive ventilation systems to allow them to run underground. The station would have two platform faces with the potential to expand in the future. In August 2019, it was revealed that the expansion would go ahead, with 4 platform faces being built, as the Ellenbrook line was also confirmed to branch off at Bayswater. This would make Bayswater Station the largest station outside of the Perth CBD regularly served in the metropolitan area. The station was to be built directly south of the existing station and over the King William Street, increasing the clearance of the old subway which had had many trucks hit it over the years, resulting in a significant amount of fame for the subway bridge, including its own website and road signs pointing to its location. The website still exists, but hasn't had a recorded incident with the new bridge, so it's pretty much just a preservation of history. The scope of the works also included a new turnback siding between Bayswater and Meltham to be used during partial line disruptions on all three lines. So here we are now walking down into the revamped Leake Street underpass. You can read about the artwork they put in here and here. It looks very nice, much better than the old one. Following the reveal of the scope of the new Bayswater Station works, Metronet undertook one of the biggest community consultations for a railway that they had ever done, consulting almost 1,000 local residents about the new design. The concept design was released on the 1st of December 2018 and revealed that the cost had been increased to $146 million. Significant other improvements were suggested as part of the project, including the redevelopment of the local road network, linking Beachborough Road South directly to Watley Crescent via a new road underpass on the eastern side of the station. And this would allow for buses to make U-turns around the station and terminate, with a bus interchange on the northern side of the station, and lots of car parking on the southern side being removed. Residents heavily criticized this design, stating that they would lose too much car parking and community space, with roads bordering Bayswater Station on all sides and a significantly large bus interchange not being favorable. The community proposed new designs with the intersection of Railway Parade, Watley Crescent, King William Street and Coode Street underneath the station overpass, removing the need for the Beachborough Road South to go under the tracks as well, and to have such a large bus interchange, with a shared space located on Watley Crescent, where pedestrians would be the priority. However, this design did not go ahead, and proponents for the contract were shortlisted in August 2019, with construction finally beginning with earthworks at the end of 2019. On the 9th of January 2020, a 17-ton, 80-year-old significant tree blocking the redevelopment of Bayswater Station was lifted by a crane and moved to the Birthright Park, where we started this video. To offset the removal of car parking at Bayswater, new bays were built at both Meltham and Ashfield stations over the course of 2020. And stopping patterns on the Midland line had been removed in July 2019, meaning that all trains stopped at these stations. Parking was also made free at Ashfield Station, since it was in Fare Zone 2, so people driving there wouldn't have to pay an extra amount traveling an extra zone. I mean, they would, but it was offset by the removal of the payment fee for the car parking. This stayed this way for 4 years until the opening of the Ellenbrook Line, when Ashfield became a paid parking station again, and a small new car park opened at Bayswater, which we'll go and take a look at in a moment. On the 9th of April 2020, Evolve Bayswater was announced as the preferred proponent for the construction, with the contract signed on the 19th of May 2020, when more detailed concept designs were also released. The budget for the project was also increased yet again to $253 million. Upon the release of the new concept designs, there was heavy community criticism, describing the new overpass as a bulky freeway overpass containing Bunnings trestle top tables as the shelters. The lack of escalators in the design was also criticized. Major politicians such as Libby Metham and Lisa Barker, member for Maylands, criticized it, calling it a social media joke. A new design was released in October 2020, which included one escalator to each platform where they could fit it in, redesigned platform shelters to cover 70% of the platform and look more aesthetically pleasing, as well as a metal finish on the overpass, mimicking the design of the exterior of the Transport A-series train, which you can see right there, all that white iron there. Should be grey on it, I mean, grey to mimic the A-series, but it looks better white anyway. The community described that they were happy with the new changes, but the government had still not announced the road layout complaints they previously had, which they never did, and it was never changed. Construction on the station finally commenced in January 2021, with many lanes on Watley Crescent being removed, parking bays being removed, and the principal shared path relocated along Watley Crescent. Businesses in the area complained at the loss of revenue due to the lack of car parking, so the government provided funding to the city of Bayswater to construct some temporary car parking bays. Vibrations and loud noise were a significant issue during the construction, especially between April and June 2021. Many residents complained that they weren't able to sleep and that cracks had appeared in their houses. Small compensation was provided and some residents were relocated, but there was still community opposition that not enough had been done. The construction of the bridge pillars commenced in September 2021, with the first two bridge beams of 52 having been completed by late February 2022. All bridge beams required for the first stage of the project were completed by late July, with the first stage of the station planned to open after a shutdown of the Midland line from the 23rd of September to the 16th of October. This shutdown date was criticized for being during the Perth Royal Show school holidays and was eventually cancelled due to the project not being up to the stage requiring the shutdown yet. Originally, after already being 2 years delayed, the airport line was supposed to open immediately after the opening of the first stage with the new Bayswater Station following the shutdown. But due to the delay of the shutdown into early 2023, the airport line opened beforehand on the 9th of October 2022, as I said before, meaning that it did actually serve the old Bayswater Station for about 6 months' time. The new shutdown was originally said to be occurring in January 2023, with the potential to be delayed further to April, which did happen in the end. The shutdown ran from the 31st of March 2023 to the 26th of April, but was then extended a further 3 days to the 29th of April. The old station permanently closed at the start of this shutdown. You can click in the corner to see the video of the last day with the last trains and the very last train to ever stop, which I did go on. The station was demolished by the 3rd of April 2023, and the infamous Bayswater Bridge was demolished between the 14th and the 17th of April, which I also have a video of its demolition, and you can also click on that in the corner now. A community event was held for the Bayswater subway bridge on the 30th of April in Birthright Park, which I also have a video on. Yes, there's really a lot to film with Bayswater Station, and you can click in the corner. Upon the reopening of the Midland and Airport lines, Bayswater Station did not yet reopen, being closed for a further 6 months, and a shuttle bus, Route 44, being provided between Meltham and Bayswater during this time. Which, there's another video you can click on in the corner for the 44. Yes, I know. There's literally so many things you can watch about Bayswater Station. All this stuff. You know, it's weird talking about this history, because usually when I'm talking about the station history in a train station video, none of that I remember or know or have covered or seen myself. But this was also recent, that this history is so relevant. Everything, you can go back and watch all this stuff I'm talking about, what it was like. You know? Anyway, I've walked so far, all the way around the station now. This is the new PSP, and I actually haven't seen this section yet. It looks so nice with all this vegetation. It wasn't like this before. The tracks are all the way up there. Well, that's the Ellenbrook line. And then right behind this wall with this nice artwork as well is the Midland and Airport line tracks. This is the small new car park that opened along with the Ellenbrook line, which meant that Ashfield got the free parking removed, which is not that big, but at least it's something. This is the only formal car parking for Bayswater Station. Also over there is the Bayswater Hotel, which has been recently renovated and reopened. It used to be right next to the eastern end of the old station. It's a nice little heritage place as well. In the May 2023 state budget, the cost for the project was again increased a further $107 million. Yes, for like the fourth time. This was one of the most increasing cost Metronet projects. And the new station was originally planned to be opened in September 2023. This almost occurred. It was just 1 week delayed, with it opening on the exactly 1 year anniversary weekend of the airport line opening on the 8th of October 2023. Although there was no formal celebration at the time, and the first train was just the first scheduled train of the day, which on that day was actually extremely much earlier because there was a marathon running event. So instead of the usual 7:30 or whatever a.m. train from Midland, it was actually like 4 a.m. So bad, but we did go on it. And Rita Steffioti was actually here that early in the morning to see it as well. And since then, I've actually got VIP access to all the Metronet events because I saw her on that day. She's so dedicated I was, I guess. Yeah. So that's when it opened. Exactly a year after the airport line, completely off the original schedule. So it only had 2 platforms at the time, with platform 1 being for trains to Perth and platform 2 on that same island platform being for the outbound Midland Airport Line trains. But then, following another Midland Airport Line shutdown over Easter 2024, from the 28th of March to the 8th of April, the tracks were realigned and the second island platform was open, with outbound trains stopping on platform 4 from first service on the 8th of April. So many dates with 8, which was also coincidentally the start of operation for Transport C-Series trains in public service. So that was actually a really interesting day, and you can go and watch that video. When I went in the C-Series, I did come with the first train from Midland, and I also filmed Bayswater Station platform 4 first day. You can go and see that. Middle platforms 2 and 3 were closed off for the remainder of 2024 until yet again another 8 dates, the 8th of December, when the Ellenbrook Line officially opened, marking the 3rd line to come through Bayswater Station and finally having all platforms being utilized. Also, there was a community event finally held for the station on the 21st of April 2024 with the new bus interchange, which you can see here, starting operations on the next day, 22nd of April, with the new and amended routes, which you can go see all those in that video. And for some reason, they still have the stickers for that here today on the 6th of April 2025 that I'm filming this. It's literally April of the next year. They still have the stickers, so that is so confusing now if someone reads that, especially because it's April right now. They're gonna say like, what? I thought the station's open, it's right here. Anyway, that brings us to today. That was probably one of the longest rambles of a station's history I've ever had, but seriously, go look at the Wikipedia page yourself. It's insanely long. I had to do that all on the spot, had to keep rechecking it. Sorry that it was so long, but I really had to say everything. That was all the history. Now we can actually talk about the current station today, which we are standing underneath the new viaduct right now. This is the upgraded King William Street, completely unrecognizable from the old subway and the old station video, which you can go view as well. I actually really like my old Bayswater Station video, even though it's pretty stupid, obviously, when I was a child, but it's only 5 minutes long, and it really quickly encapsulates everything that was here. So different, unrecognizable. Let's go through the bus routes for the station. There are 7 bus stands, 2 of which are located here in King William Street. For the through routes, which are the Circle Route 998 and 999, which does connect here. As you can see here, stand 2 stopping and stand 1 on the other side, as well as Route 40, which was renumbered from Route 48 with the Bayswater bus interchange opening between the now called Galleria bus station. Oh my god, how loud can a gas bus be? And Elizabeth Quay bus station. So that's that, and on that side over there, that's the other stand. Don't really need to walk there again. Then there are these main stands here for the terminating routes, which stand 3 over here is for the 46, which now connects to Morley train station on the Ellenbrook line. Beforehand, it was introduced with the interchange opening. It just went to Bayswater bus depot. The sign still hasn't been upgraded. It says to Embleton, even though it's Morley train station, which is actually in Embleton though. As well as high frequency route 975, which was introduced with the opening of the Ellenbrook line, which is just the old route 371, which went from Morley bus station to Warwick station. It was extended to Bayswater station and renumbered to 975 as it became high frequency. Stand 4 is for the 45, which goes to Bassendean town centre on the southern side of the railway, since it can't cross over, since there's no level crossing. Basically Bassendean station through the suburbs of Ashfield and all that area. That was the old route 55, which went from Elizabeth Quay, but then with this opening, they just truncated it to Bayswater, and then you can just take trains. Over here we have what? Okay, that shouldn't be here. 42 does not come to Bayswater station. That is Elizabeth Quay to Maylands boat ramp, which was also changed with that interchange opening, but it does not come here. We do have the 41 though, which you just changed to now. Thank you. Which goes to Elizabeth Quay via the actual suburb of Bayswater and Caledonian Avenue and Guildford Road. This one is also for all the train replacement bus routes to Perth, which are all the same route from here, 901, 902, 903, for the 3 lines. And that's that. And then the last stand is just a layover, set down. Oh, sorry, there's only 6 stands, not 7. What am I saying? Layover, set down, and train replacement outbound stand. Now, all of these little rooms here are shops which will open in the future, which is gonna be so cool. Even though it's been here for so long now and there's still nothing, it does say leased here. And they recently put up advertisements on the Metronet website for any businesses to be able to get access to these for actually 2 years rent-free. I don't know how they can afford to make that deal, but that's pretty cool. Well, what is this? Why? Train replacement bus to Ellenbrook, Midland and High Wycombe. Why is it not in like alphabetical order? What is this? If it was order of importance, I mean, I guess Ellenbrook's busier now, but I would kind of think Midland's first. It should be alphabetical at least. Yeah, there's that. That's the timetable. Very good with the 975 as well. Finally, some high frequency services to Bayswater, because beforehand it was just the circle route and route 48 on King William Street with some terrible bus stops. Even though it was marked as bus interchange, it was really not nice. That's actually a darker color blue than they use on most of the other maps. And the Rand is marked as bus interchange in here, which is not really correct, although I guess you can, it's like the same as what the old Bayswater was, but there with the 350. Yeah, that's the whole map. So that's pretty good. Connecting to Galleria bus station as well. You know, they want you to go to Morley to connect to it, but really, if you get off here and go 975, you're gonna get there faster. And most, I mean, not most, there's 3 lines, but lots of trains should connect with the 975. Look at that sign over there for all the buses. Yep, that's that. There's this other stand here on the main road as well. So yeah, they did make it so the buses can loop around, as I said. People were complaining this bit they wanted to be more public space, but it's just Beachborough Road South now. There is some public space up there. That staircase, PSP there, and the IGA. But yeah, these businesses all had big issues, especially when the train was not operating, not stopping here, and really lost revenue. Okay, I think we can finally go inside now and take a look. Okay, so the station does have entrances on both sides of the road, which provides very good access since the platforms go over it, ensuring that they're straight as well. It is a closed station. Actually, I think it wasn't actually closed originally. They only did this a few months ago. Made it closed before it had open processes down here as well. There are toilets and a drink fountain actually on both entrances as well, which is very good. As I said, there is only one escalator, and these are some of the narrowest escalators in the network, but this is the most they could fit because they have the pillars to hold it up in there, the lift there, the fare gates there. Like you can see, they couldn't really fit, so it's only an up escalator. Otherwise you have stairs. We'll go up. these stairs for now. Maybe should have just gone on the escalator, but it's okay. This is the platform 1 and 2 island, which now services trains only to Perth. I'm just going to talk over the announcements because there's going to be way too many here. So, but when it first opened with only one platform, this platform serviced the outbound Midland and Airport Line trains, and I also actually filmed the last ever outbound train on this platform, which you can go and take a look at that video. I know. So many videos. Okay, so of course it has screen displays. Here is for the Midland Airport Line. You can see the next train is Claremont, and platform 2 is only for the Perth-bound Ellenbrook Line trains. Now, this is a funny remnant, right? So, because they had that open for 6 months, the outbound platform, they actually put standard gauge tracks on it for the regional and Indian Pacific train, and then they never actually changed it. They never removed these tracks. So we have standard gauge there just because of a 6-month period. That will now probably permanently stay as a standard gauge track through platform 2, although it ends at the end. You can see if you zoom in, it just ends. But yeah, a nice little remnant of the construction process of Bayswater Station. Probably haven't noticed that. Cool little fact. Ellenbrook train coming in over there. Otherwise, this is the platform is so much better. It's such an improvement on the old station. This was the first proper elevated station really in Perth, like over the road. But now we of course have Whiteman Park already, and in only 2 months from filming this, and probably even less when I post it, we're gonna have Thorney Coburn Link opening as well, which is gonna have so many elevated stations in the intersection of the line, and there's a Midland Line train. No need to film trains though, I already did that months ago actually. And you'll see all those clips later. Information box, lift on this side, stairs on this side, another transit officer booth at the end, all the siding is over there which you can connect to. And I think the siding actually doesn't have a buffer, so they can kind of move trains into there if they break down as well. Let's go down these stairs. Now, of course, it actually is pretty bad because they kind of missed an opportunity to make a cross-platform connection between the different lines here, especially with it being a junction for 3 lines. You have to go down the stairs and go to the other side, but oh well. At least when you want to go to Perth, all the trains will be in the same platform, so you just go up there, the same island platform. So you just go up there and see. Here's the stopping diagram, which is also pretty confusing because it shows Ellenbrook separate, and then if you look here, you're like, where's Ellenbrook? And the map, which this was actually the first map to have the Yanchep extension on it. I remember on the Bayswater bus interchange opening day, and I saw Yanchep line, and I was like, what? Why? I was so mad at the time. I thought Junlop line was such a historic thing that could never be changed, and I had kind of a tantrum, but now it's completely normal to be called Yanchep line. Anyway, that is irrelevant to this. We'll go back up onto this platform. Just take a look here. It's exactly the same, but obviously slightly newer. Ellenbrook train stopping in the middle here. Now, what happens on stadium event days is the airport line actually runs as a shuttle from High Wycombe to Bayswater because they can't fit so many lines at the city where there's also the direct Yanchep and Fremantle trains, so they actually terminate on the outer platforms, use the sidings and come back, which is really confusing for tourists, but that is actually a time when it's useful that the platforms are like this, because you just come off, go to the other side, and you can catch an Ellenbrook train to Perth, or stay on the same one, catch a Midland train. The sequence outbound is supposed to be Midland train, airport train, Ellenbrook train, but the sequence inbound is Midland train, Ellenbrook train, airport train. So you would realistically catch an airport train after you get on the, catch a Midland train after you get off the airport line. Yep, that's it. Here we're at the end of this platform. Here's the escalator, and pretty reasonable view from up here. This area here. And the bike path over there as well, actually. The bike path goes right across the bridge. next to the station, and you can look down on the street from there. And finally we'll look at this little box here, because there's actually only one button, which is such a missed opportunity. Look, you just need to put Midland, Airport, Ellenbrook, but instead there's only one.
The next train to Midland departs from platform 4 in 3 minutes.
And it has to say the platform.
The train stops all stations, followed by High Wycombe in 9 minutes. The train stops all stations. The next train to Ellenbrook departs from platform 3 in 11 minutes.
In
The train
11
stops
minutes.
all stations.
Yeah, see, so if you press that button, it announces you all 3 lines. And then, yeah, it says followed by. They had to introduce that as part of this when they had all these lines come through here. So yes, that's the whole Bayswater station. Really long, but it is a major station. Basically the biggest one. Kind of, I mean, stadium is now regularly served, but obviously completely quiet. It is really strange that we have 3 lines branching off here. The station was a junction from when it first opened, as I said, with the Belmont Spur line. Then it was just a Midland Line station for so many years. It's like 60 years, 50 years, or yeah, 60 actually. And then we had 2 new lines open within less than, I mean, just over 2 years. So now it is how it is. And Ellenbrook Line is way longer than Midland Line. Midland Line is only like 8 more kilometers to the terminus from here, while Ellenbrook Line is like 21, so really that's kind of the main line now, especially because in the middle, but they're never actually going to technically consider it like that, even though it's probably busier as well. Which we'll find out quite soon. They should release the statistics about it. Over there, ticket machine, Smart Rider hubs, which they're finally installing almost everywhere instead of the old Smart Rider machine. Another little talk about the artwork. This video is going to be so insanely long. I am sorry, but you know, it's been long in the making. It's such a major station, and I've been putting this video off for so long for how long it takes to make, so might as well include every possible piece of information in it. Look at that sky light. And one last thing I want to show you, if we can cross here. Nope, it just went green. Is this very sophisticated bike shelter they have here. I mean, I think, wait, where's the other one like this? Is there a Whiteman Park or somewhere they put someone like this as well? But this is so good. Look at that. It's like a proper office type bike racks, not just some hut, you know, it's actually a room. Very good. So cycling is encouraged as well, especially with the PSP network on both sides now and above us here. More artwork. In memory of the Bayswater. This is, I did not even realize. Yeah, look, opened in 1910. The Bayswater Bridge served as a vital link. With a clearance of 3.8 meters, the bridge gained notoriety and received significant media coverage for the frequent strikes. The bridge was removed in April 2023. This fragment reminds us of our shared journey and the stories that shaped our past. Right here. This is an old fragment of the Bayswater Bridge sitting here on display to come and take a look at, which many trucks have hit before. Right, that's it. Now you can go with Trainspotting and bus spotting. Enjoy. 3 lines at the one station.
Smoking at a low level not permitted on transport property.
Oh, what? Why is it going there? Huh? Oh, yeah.
Alright, thanks guys, I'll see you tomorrow.
Attention passengers.
That's so cool. It goes there. It's like a waiting bay before it goes out onto the track.
Or around the station complex. Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh, well. B series on the Midland line. Damn. Can't really see, but it said Midland. Oh, whoops, the NH left. Ugh, terrible. I'm getting terrible shots right now because I'm trying to film this 46. No! I'm so mad. I stood in that corner for like 5 minutes waiting for him to turn in, and then he turned in when I wasn't filming him. Oh. But anyway, NH on the 46. And as we stand on the bridge here overlooking the Bayswater town centre, I'm going to give the new Bayswater station a full rating of 5 stars. There is definitely no way it would not receive that. Look at this majestic grand station in the middle of this historical suburb. I know there have been lots of community complaints and significant budget overblows, but it was worth it, as with every Metronet project. It is beautiful, it is perfect as the junction station. It's just obviously not great with the 2 tracks afterwards, but oh well, that's fine. At least they can wait here, you know. Everything is good, elevated, it's got facilities. It's so much better than the old station, which is literally like 1 star. So you don't really have any complaints. Thanks for watching. Bye.